Hello and welcome to our Worried About Nothing podcast. Today we're chatting with Steph, who talks about her experiences of the Astrazeneca vaccine, why she decided to take it, and gives her suggestions of organisations you can contact for help and information. Hi Steph, I'm Kim and this is my friend Danielle.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks so much for doing this.
That's okay.
So it'll just be a shortish interview just to kind of talk through your experiences really.
Basically it was a question on there that I responded to asking for anybody that was on there that had actually had the first or both vaccines and had a reaction, which I had. I had the first one and I was that ill from it. That's what sort of got me fact finding. And then I actually joined Freedom Alliance and became a candidate for Ceredigion and totally went the other way. Really quickly. But yeah, it basically triggered because I've got such a high pain threshold and usually things takes a lot to bother me, and I nearly called an ambulance twice. So I was like, this isn't right at all. And obviously, unfortunately, it took that for me to look properly into it and found some things I didn't like. I got my queries anyway to start with, but being a small business owner, and in sort of we clean a lot of holiday lets, so owners were telling me that they were struggling and they couldn't go much longer and stuff. So I kind of thought, right, well, I'll take one for the team because they'd been giving it all the large, get your vaccine and businesses will reopen. So I was like, right, okay, let's do this because I'm classed as sort of vulnerable to whatever it is. Because I am only 40, but they offered it me early. Mm-hmm. So I went and did it. It's the worst thing I ever did. Needless to say, I didn't take the second one.
So what were your symptoms? What did you experience?
Just violent shaking to the point I was struggling just to get a tablet to my mouth because it was that violent. And my temperature was absolutely through the roof. I mean, I was eating paracetamol like they were sweets. And Nurofen and stuff, and it wasn't touching it, and I was literally up all night. It reminded me of films you see when with drug addicts and they're on the, when they do their cold turkey. That is exactly what I was like. It was horrendous.
Wow, how long did that last for?
It was what time did I have? If I remember, I think I had it about 10, 11 o'clock, the actual vaccine during the day. By 4 o'clock, I was starting to feel a bit rough, and it just progressively got worse. And I was down with it for about two and a half days. But yeah, so because I had that on a Thursday, and then the Thursday evening was horrendous. Friday wasn't that much better. I phoned the doctor, and they sort of said you're going to have to go into hospital if you're not significantly better by Saturday morning. But by that point, I'd started looking into things myself, and I thought there's no way I'm going anywhere near a hospital.
Fair enough.
I battled through it as I usually do, and picked myself back up, and then went on, like I say, on totally the opposite, and was just telling people don't do it. 3 other people that work on the site that we're on had the vaccine at the same time. They were all violently ill, and one ended up in hospital and had to have muscle relaxants.
Oh my God, with the same symptoms as you, the tremors and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they were all awful. And that's all, I mean, this is in Aberavon in Midwest Wales. It's a tiny little town, and that's 4 of us that know each other, work closely together, and every one of us had a really bad reaction.
Wow. Which vaccine was it, if you don't mind saying?
Mine was AstraZeneca. I'm not sure what theirs were. I didn't ask because, to be honest, at that point I was of the mindset of just don't have any.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's not like there's one that's better than the others, for sure.
No. They're just, one's just got different downfalls to the other. But
yeah. So what happened then? So where did you start with your research, and how did that progress to where you are now?
Do you know what? To be honest, I think it's always there. It was there in my eyesight on Facebook anyway, but it's quite shocking how you just browse by and don't see it until you've been in the situation yourself. And suddenly I started seeing the posts and realising there were other people, I think, was the main thing that was against it all. I actually started looking into how to put together a political party, because that was my first thing. If this is coming from government, then we need to make like a Trojan horse, isn't it? And sort of take them down from the inside. So I was like, right, how do we get a political party together was looking into all of that, and I stumbled across Freedom Alliance, which were, of the same thinking of me at the time. So I learned a lot from them, met with them and did protest in Swansea. I did a protest in Cardiff, took my kids with me, my 4 young kids. My oldest is 22, so unfortunately he doesn't do as he's told anymore.
So the protests, are you protesting at vaccine sites, or where are these protests?
The protests were more, they weren't anti-vax as such. They were more sort of like the Freedom Alliance was the Footsteps to Freedom one. And then the Cardiff was sort of is human rights and Stand in the Park and that sort of group of people, which are all connected with the children's aspect of it as well. Because obviously I've got 4 children. Of the younger 4, my oldest is 11. So she's very near the age group for starting to vaccine from 12 up.
Yeah.
Which was my worry. So I've now become a coordinator as well for the children's side of it, Safer to Wait campaign.
Brilliant.
And trying to get that out to people as a gentle push, isn't it? Rather than hard facts and hard hitting and whatever, which is exactly what the government are doing. And people are we don't want to appear to be the same as the government and trying to ram things down people's throats. It's better to have a gentle information flyer there that they can look into and think, oh yeah, actually you might have a point.
Yeah.
I did a Facebook post actually the other day and all I put on it was if you had a perfectly healthy child, how many of you would put them forward for medical trials? And the people that were like, no. And then I just edited underneath it and said, well, so what do you think the COVID vaccine is? I'm hoping it got them thinking. I mean, it was hit with silence, but I think that said a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. So you're doing protests and Stand in the Park and all of those kind of things. We have those in London as well. And are you finding that talking to people, one-on-one, as it were, is having an impact? Are you able to change people's minds or educate them in any way? Are you finding, generally speaking?
Yeah, I think I'm finding that the general thought is that people think they're the minority and they're alone and they're worried to sort of actually say how they feel. And slowly but surely, I think I'm with many others managing to get the point across of things like it wasn't 350 people marching in London, there were flipping millions.
Exactly.
Like, I've got the footage, I can show you. Kinds of thing. So because I've got friends that went and stuff, so I was like, and my friends know these friends, so I'm like, look, they were there, see for yourself, and sort of they're like, oh right, okay. So then my point is, if they're going to lie about that, what else are the media lying about? Why would they lie about that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's incredible that they are lying so blatantly, because they say it's 350 people or 500 people. I've been at the last few and it's 1.5 million, a million at least people.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can't cover it up. You can't hide it. But yeah, it's a very good point. What else are they going to lie about? And what else are they lying about?
Exactly. And the other point I always try and put across, and it's one that does play on my mind, is why are they pushing it so much?
Yeah.
If it was like normal vaccines, have they ever pushed a vaccine so hard ever, no matter what's going on? And I think that's what people should be stopping and thinking, why are they pushing this for everybody to have it across the world so much?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's got to be something else to it.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. And especially pushing it on the children, because all along they've been saying children are fine. They're not in any way at risk. So now they're suddenly turning around and pushing it on the children. It's very, very strange.
And also, in conjunction with that, the new variants attacking the younger people.
Yeah.
Convenient.
Of course.
Yeah.
Convenient, yes, exactly.
No, that's brilliant. I'm so glad you're doing that work, though. It's so important that everyone gets out there and just
have a conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Because so many people, you find that they're just following blindly and they don't really know the facts. So they don't know what's, in the vaccine. They don't know, what they're being told is a lie, because they're just kind of going along with it. There's no questioning there. So it's important that people get out there and do the work that you're doing. It really is. I think it's fantastic.
But the other thing as well that also baffles me is, up until this last year, at what point have the majority of the public believed every word the government said?
Yeah,
they never have. They've never believed them. They're renowned liars, and yet suddenly they're hanging on their every word.
I know, it's astonishing, isn't it? Yeah, you see posts about that in the conversation. Yeah, you don't believe the government about anything else, but suddenly about COVID. Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. The fact that they've all got shares in the vaccine companies and everything is, got nothing to do with the fact that the reason they're pushing it.
I know, it's insane, absolutely insane. So, what would you say? I mean, I know you're getting out there and you're talking to people one on one, but what would you say to anybody who's kind of on the fence and thinking about getting the vaccine, not sure about whether to do it or not? What would you say to them?
I think if you're questioning it, then there's obviously some sort of doubt there. And I think if there's doubt, then as our sort of flyers and things say, it's safer to wait. Wait until you're satisfied that you've got all the facts that you need. Wait until there's enough time passed to have the relevant data to say that it's safe or it's not safe or what the side effects are. They can't clear this vaccine as 100% safe because they don't have a time machine. So, they can't say what the long-term effects are because we haven't seen long-term yet. So if somebody's sat on the fence, I just always say to them, just wait and see, do some more research. If they want it, it will still be there 6 months down the line. But my advice is just wait. If you're thinking about it, then there's something in the back of your mind or in your gut, and you should always listen to your gut. So just wait.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, and do you want to send me the links to the websites that you work with, or the the organisations if they've got website links, and we can post them underneath the video?
Well, most of them are on Telegram because obviously their content gets stopped otherwise. But obviously, Stand in the Park is massive, and that started in Australia, and so that's all across the world. Freedom Alliance, you've got Freedom Alliance UK and then Freedom Alliance Wales. We are a political party.
Right.
Didn't do very well in the elections, but we didn't expect to. I mean, we had about 4 weeks realistically run up to when we were confirmed that we were sort of good to go, and then had a massive amount of support, but realised about a week before elections were due that the majority of the support we have were from people that don't vote because they don't believe in the government and the dictatorship and etc. So so I was like, so I didn't have enough time to sort of say, but you may not agree with it, but the only way to change it is to get inside and change it from there. So unfortunately, we didn't realise that until it was a bit too late. But we're still there, and we're still working on projects. This is why I've partnered up with sort of Stand in the Park and the children's aspect side of it to do as much as we can. And I know the Freedom Alliance candidates in England are standing for their local councils and things now as well, which we've got in Wales next year. So we'll hopefully be doing that then, just to try and get voices in on the bench to start putting that opinion across and making people think.
Brilliant. Yeah. And is there a contact or somewhere that people can go if they're interested in finding out more information?
Well, Facebook does have a Stand in the Parks on there, which is like the basic information, and it's got the Telegram links on it. So they can find us through there. Sure. Freedom Alliance is you've got Freedom Alliance .Wales, which is the website, and they're also on Facebook currently. But obviously, as we're up in the ante a little bit, we may get stopped. On Telegram as well, just in case.
Yeah. No, that's great. No, thank you. Danielle, did you have any other questions or anything you wanted to say?
Nothing I can really think of. I just want to thank you for sharing your story with us, though. I think it's really important to get the people who have experienced what they've experienced, their stories out there so others can hear them.
Yeah, so definitely. You. And just like everyday people, rather than...
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a mom of 5. I work hard. I've got my own businesses and stuff, and took one for the team, like I said, and wished I hadn't. So, and I don't enforce it with my staff. We get hammered with phone calls from the council left, right and centre saying that the tests are free and we should be giving them to our staff. And I'm not forcing anybody to stick up their nose. It's not going to happen. And we're a cleaning company. I mean, obviously we wear masks because, if you've got your head down a stinky loo, the last thing you want to do is smell that. But we don't wear masks in the vans and we don't wear masks in the offices. It's if they want to, fair enough, they can. But the majority of us, we're like, we've been in cleaning supposed COVID premises and this, that and the other throughout the whole, since it started, and not one of us have felt ill at all. So I think, you know, that's enough for us. None of us know anybody either. And we've got clients with the holiday lets that are all over England and Yorkshire and everything. And we've got like 70 odd holiday lets on the books, and not one of them knows anybody that's actually died from COVID. They've got relatives that have died through not getting the care they needed because of COVID, but not actually from COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, and I think the aftermath of the treatments that were stopped of COVID and mental health is through the roof. My son's 22. One of his mates committed suicide just before Christmas, and another has just recently, we caught her in time. He himself had problems because he ended up isolated at university on his own. We had to phone the police. We thought he'd topped himself with pills and alcohol. So this is going to go on for many years, and it is not going to be deaths from COVID that will be the topper. I think it will be mental health and cancer.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
And I just hope that, you know, eventually that people are brought to justice over it, because in my opinion, cancer treatment should never, ever be stopped no matter what's going on. That's just ridiculous. It's just giving somebody a life sentence, isn't it? So I do know a friend, I have got somebody, her mom did die because her treatment was stopped. And she died from cancer. She didn't die from COVID. So, you know, she was terminal anyway, but she was having treatment to prolong her life, and they stopped it.
God, that's just outrageous.
It's just crazy. So fingers crossed, which is why I wanted to do this as well. You know, so the further we can get the word out, and even if we just get, you know, 10 people from seeing this start thinking, then hopefully then they'll speak to another 10 people, and on it goes. And hopefully there's light at the end of the tunnel. Otherwise I'll be living in a log cabin in the woods.
We'll be joining you.
I'm having a little commune in the woods.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to us. We really, really appreciate it. And it's so important. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, great. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. And you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.